welcome to the Conspire Away Bitches podcast.
Thank you, darling. I appreciate it. Happy to be here.
So I've seen you on TikTok and you're from like the backwoods of Gatlinburg. What was it like leaving all of that to come into the Big Brother house?
Well, as you say, I'm from so deep in the holler, honey. You got to pop in sunshine. So coming in from there is a large adjustment and in all that city business. But I'm a well traveled individual, so it wasn't too much of an adjustment period. It was actually nice to go on a different adventure and to have a little contrast to everyday life.
And was it a fun adventure? Like, what are you thinking now that you've been evicted and you're looking back on everything?
It was absolutely an amazing experience. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. And if you look at it as anything else, I think you're messing up. I had an amazing time with some amazing individuals. So I don't look back at it with any type of bitterness whatsoever.
So before we get into all the game talk, Donnie from BB16 wanted me to ask you about the bone on the side of your hat.
Yes, ma'am.
What is that?
That's a coon's penis bone right there. It's let me just give you a little lesson.
You were walking around the house with a raccoon penis in your head?
It's called a baculum, if it makes you feel any better.
That doesn't make me feel any better at all, actually.
It's also known as a Tennessee toothpick, and in moonshine, and that's used in the bottom of your worm, which is your condenser. You put that in there, it gives you a hydroscopic bond between the porous surface area of the bone via surface tension, which gives you a nice flow in your liquor stream into your mason jar. So it's kind of a moonshiner thing.
Oh my gosh, I was not expecting that answer. That's
good.
That's so bold of you to just be walking around with that in your hat. But I'm glad I asked about that.
Anywhere without that.
So now on that note, let's talk about game. So where do you and Cam stand today?
I think we're in a lot better position than we were last week. And I've said it a couple of times. You only know what you know until you know. So now that I know what I know, I definitely think there's a future in mine and his relationship. The guy's an amazing individual, and we had a very close and deep connection based on where we come from, that we're both dads, similar upbringings and such like that. So I see a bright future for me and Cam. Maybe even a podcast. Who knows?
Oh my gosh, I would actually love that. The Chillbilly podcast.
Absolutely. Chillbilly's coast to coast, baby.
So I don't know if you know this yet, but Cameron actually won HOH after you got evicted. So who do you think he should target in order to avenge you?
I think the best person for his game, because ultimately, I'm no longer a piece on the board. So he needs to work with his game moving forward, and Izzy is his biggest threat in the house. Once she goes on an Izzy tizzy, you really got to be careful. So getting rid of her will probably be the best thing for his game moving forward.
And Julie dropped a bomb on you whenever you got evicted, and she told you about the Jared Suri relationship. Looking back, did you see that coming? Was there any hints there, or what? Now that you've gotten the shock of her telling you, where are you standing with that news now?
Honestly, it was a complete surprise. There were a couple indicators in the first week, 1 and 2, that they were really close, but that's like it's a big brother thing. It's part of like what being in that fishbowl does. You build relationships really quickly. So it was easy to sweep it under the rug as just, oh, well, they have common bond or something. They're from the same area, which again was another red flag. They did look similar, and I did notice that. But again, you never think that Big Brother's going to put a mother and son there, which is, I don't know why you wouldn't, because, expect the unexpected is kind of the motto. So I didn't see it coming at all. And actually, Suri's probably the one I feel most betrayed by in the house as of now.
You don't feel betrayed by Jared at all?
No, not as much. He was kind of on the other side of the house. And I feel like it wasn't necessarily just his idea to plant that seed of doubt in our relationship to split us up. I think it probably came from a larger group. So I wouldn't target him individually with that decision. But me and Suri were very, very close. And she even said at one point, you'll leave this house over my dead carcass. And she even said carcass 10 times.
Somebody better check on Suri then.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely keep your eye on that.
Oh gosh. Well, my last question. So watching you on the live feeds, we see everything. We hear all these conversations. What was your problem with America?
I mean, it was all gameplay related. It wasn't that I necessarily had a problem with her. It was she was on the other side of the house. Some decisions that she made seemed obvious to me. I feel like she was using certain things to her advantage to take advantage of certain people, and
Like
that
what?
and there was well, just using maybe her attractiveness to her advantage in a sense, where she was taking advantage of Corey, maybe taking advantage of Cam, in a sense. And there's definitely a specific instance on what triggered those flags, stuff she had said to Corey and stuff that I observed, but all of it was gameplay related. I'm sure she's an amazing individual. None of it was personal.
Oh, interesting. Well, with that, I believe we're out of time, but thank you so much for coming on the Conspire Away Bitches podcast. Welcome to the real world.
Thank you, darling. I appreciate you. You have a good.
Thanks, Red.
Yes, ma'am.